This is a story about a typical office worker. Let's call him Bob. Bob works in the city, but like most of us, he doesn't live in the city. He lives in the suburbs. So every morning, just like the rest of us, Bob jumps into his car alone and heads to work. The problem is, there are many Bobs out there, and they are all trying to get to work on time at the same time. Here's the problem. We choose to drive into the city because we are not willing to sacrifice our mobility. But because everyone drives, the city is congested. Now, with so many cars in the city, we need to build massive parking lots just to hold them. And as it turns out, because the city is so congested, we stay locked in our respective office blocks while our cars sit idle for hours and hours. These parking lots in turn take up valuable space in the city. You can sort of think of them as dead spaces. In short, a congested city discourages mobility and in turn limits interactivity. It is time for us to rethink urban mobility. Let's get back to Bob. Bob is now in a 21st century city. He takes public transportation to get to the city center. This is Bob's forward-thinking mayor. His mayor has enforced a special zone for public utility vehicles. Anytime Bob wants to move within the city, he needs only to take a short walk to the nearest carport and pick up a ReCAR. Bob gets to use the ReCAR anywhere within the city and enjoys free short-term roadside parking to run his errands. If Bob chooses to drive his own car into the city, he will have to pay a congestion tax. With fewer private vehicles in the city centre, Bob and the many others like him are encouraged to move around the city centre, generating good business for all stakeholders. When Bob is done, he only needs to return his ReCAR to the nearest carport and hop onto public transportation to head home. This is ReCAR. It is an environmentally friendly, fun-to-drive public utility vehicle. Since it is limited only to use within the city, the usual constraints of car design do not apply. It is shaped like a box to maximize the use of space. It runs on natural gas, it is fun to drive, and it provides a new business model for city councils. The ReCAR concept frees up dead spaces within the city. It encourages mobility and makes interacting and working in the city fun again. It is environmentally friendly and reduces congestion and pollution. In short, it helps us reclaim our city as a living, breathing space for interacting with one another.